All right. Thank y'all so much. Can you hear me? Thank y'all so much for joining us. We're about to start the press conference. Introduce Superintendent to come and join us to share about this exciting new partnership.
Good morning. We're so excited today as we are here to talk about the next level of work as we build this great partnership and work. We're excited that we have our high school principals here, some business partners, and also our first, I just want to say thank you all for joining us here today. I'm extremely excited about the opportunities ahead of us as we drastically expand access and opportunities for all students across East Baton Rouge Parish. For too long, in our city, we have had an achievement gap, which too often translates to an economic opportunity gap. Today, we are excited to announce the rollout of the Pathways to Bright Future initiative, a system-wide effort to build sustainable and lasting bridges to post-secondary education and high-demand, high-wage career jobs, beginning with our freshman cohort in the fall of 22-23 class. With the launch of the Pathways to Bright Future initiative, we will work to close the opportunity and access gap along with our partners in higher education, industry, workforce, and economic development who are collaborating on this work with us. The need of our economy have changed dramatically, and our educational system have not kept up with the needs of employers here in the capital region. The Pathways to Brighter Futures initiative will create 5 focus areas for our high school students in technology, healthcare, construction and manufacturing, automotive and logistics, and liberal arts and management. These pathways were created based upon the short and long-term needs identified by the Baton Rouge Area Chamber and other industry partners. The pathways we've created translate to the jobs of the future for today's students. Building a bridge for opportunity and reinvestment in our children and our economy is important. The Pathways to Bright Futures program, beginning in fall, includes the career structures that link and integrate with high school and community college curriculum that are aligned with labor market needs, employees committed to providing learning opportunities at the workplace and supporting the transition of young people into the labor market, the expansion of dual enrollment opportunities to all incoming 9th grader students so that every child across our district has the opportunity to participate in early college experiences and graduate with an associate's degree, industry-based credential, an early and sustained career information and advising system strong enough to help students and families make informed choices about educational and career paths. This work would not be possible without the support of the partners you see standing with the East Baton Rouge Parish school system today. Gone are the days where access is for some and not for all. Access is not just a pathway to college, but a pathway to participating in a thriving economy, in a high-wage job and high-demand job. The model of the East Baton Rouge Parish school system is every child, in every class, every community, every day. Today, we officially embark on a journey to build and achieve a vision for their future that across the board while closing the gap and creating a cohort of young professionals who will help contribute and grow a vibrant and growing regional economy. What I always say is our job is to bring children's dreams closer to them, not further. There is an equity gap in a student popularity that have access to advanced coursework. Currently, 65% are not engaged in advanced coursework in our school system, and our goal is to change that. The academic coursework are predominantly students from a lower socioeconomic household. And what's really important as a school system is not that we see only access for some, but access for all. All children in our system can excel and do well. All options are available, and all options will be considered. Dual enrollment, advanced placement, or industry-based certification. Our goal is to close that gap. We are in a vibrant city, and we should have no excuses on making sure that our city does not thrive, to continue to be the leading city in the state of Louisiana. Thank you. We'll now have Chancellor Willie Smith, the Chancellor of BRCC, to come up, one of our great partners.
Good morning. Thank you for joining us this morning and for the significant and I call a great milestone for our state, our local community, our families, and our children. I serve as the Chancellor of Baton Rouge Community College, and most folks do not realize we are a comprehensive community college where we prepare students who go directly to the full university or go to work. I'm excited about this partnership with EBR, the Pathways to a Brighter Future, because it provides opportunity for our students to be successful beyond high school. More importantly, it provides an opportunity to gap. The number of students that the superintendent just mentioned who takes advantage of dual enrollment are not the numbers that we need to see Louisiana thrive and become a better state. We know that by providing these opportunities, supporting higher secondary education, to making sure students can leave with a high demand industry-based credential, a technical diploma, or associate degree, will be the pathway to put them on a trajectory to fill those gaps for our business employer. But more importantly, we know that 53% of Louisiana do not go to community college or university. And so somewhere we need to start to make sure we're providing the resources, the training, and the skills to make sure that when you leave high school, that you can leave and with an opportunity to have a well-paying job to sustain your life and your future. I'm excited to be a partner with this initiative. We released the impact study last week to talk to value about community college, so I'm going to brag on BRCC. 1 in 90 jobs that are developed in Baton Rouge are created by students or supported by students of BRCC. $300 million impact yearly from our graduates. Our average earnings for our graduates leaving Baton Rouge Community College is $46,300. For every dollar that the state gives the BRCC, we return that back $5.60. What an investment. So this partnership, folks, is very instrumental to me, but also I know that what it's going to do for the dividends that's going to pay back to Baton Rouge, this state, but certainly our children, our families for decades to come. Thank you for joining us.
Think you theme in the remarks that we make this morning, but I want to start off by saying how excited I am about the official announcement of the Pathways to Bright Futures program. And I want to thank the press who has taken time to join us for this announcement because this is important to our community. I want to thank our educators who have contributed to the effort to bring this idea to fruition. You see, everyone here today, the media, our administrative leaders, our educators, and elected officials like myself, creating the path to a brighter future for our youth, your community, and of course our entire parish. We all have the power to shape the future for our youth in some capacity. And of course, this is especially true for our educators in the room. Our team influences the future of our community every day and all that they do. And so as we work together to shape these bright young minds, we must remain focused on building bigger, building better, and building brighter. And that's exactly what the Pathways to Bright Futures will do for our students, as you've heard. This intensified focus on expanding and career readiness students up for success far beyond the walls of their classroom. And as I often say, we could not do endeavors like this if we did not have partnerships. So I am thankful for all the partnerships that exist within this room today. Our school system for building relationships with our industry leaders in technology, construction and manufacturing, medical, transportation and logistics fields. These partnerships are the foundation, of course, for this initiative and the foundation of our pathways to success. As I said, I often say that our community creates the most progress when we have all hands on deck and all parties at the table. One entity cannot solve a problem alone. It takes partnership, commitment, and dedication to move the needle. And so thank you to our businesses who are partnering with us and who will also benefit from a highly skilled workforce, who have developed the skills and knowledge that they need to succeed. And of course, our youth will benefit from enhanced education, expanded opportunities, and a more prosperous future. Exposing our youth to unique experiences like this one will lay the path for success no matter what direction they choose. As the mayor-president of this community, and as a resident of East Baton Rouge Parish, and a grandmother of 3, I look forward to seeing the benefits that programs like this will bring to our community. Thank you so much, and it's my pleasure to bring up Adam Knapp with the Baton Rouge Chamber of Commerce.
As the mayor said, my name is Adam, move this away. Adam Knapp, I'm the CEO at the Baton Rouge Area Chamber. And as I was thinking about how to prepare my remarks, I think this is both professionally and personally incredibly exciting what East Baton Rouge Schools is announcing here today. And this collaboration that they have been working on is one that I wish existed for the last 20 years, last 50 years. But frankly, it's amazing that they are announcing this today with the ambition and expectations that they are setting. And when we talk about in our companies across this community, the expectation of excellence and high expectations, it is just this kind of announcement that we love to see our public leaders like Superintendent Narcisse and our school board here in East Baton Rouge setting for our community this incredible vision for the role that our school system really plays in driving and propelling our future economy. In Baton Rouge today, if you don't know this, there are 44,000 open positions, companies searching for workers. There are only about 15,000 people listed as unemployed in Baton Rouge today. We have a labor mismatch in our community. 73% of employers say they are not able to find the qualified talent that they need today in our community. The other big challenge we face is a community that has historically not given everyone in our community access to the benefits of our economy. And if we don't see those two problems as enormously important for our school system to address, we're deceiving ourselves. And I think the beauty of today's announcement is not just that it sets a high expectation for what our community can accomplish and achieve, it is that it sees the role of the school system as guiding our students to ways that they're going to be able to empower themselves and propel themselves into the career opportunities that this state has access to. And that is a beautiful thing to see them working on. Now, the Baton Rouge Area Chamber has a very difficult problem in the role that we play. When the superintendent approached us earlier this year and said, we're thinking about the role that we play in workforce education very intensely, but we expect you to change your organization around this as well. We looked at ourselves and said, is that possible for us to do what you think we should be doing to change? And we said, of course it is. Not only is it possible, but it is necessary that we, or as an organization, we change our ways, and our ways that we help businesses to align and communicate the challenges and needs they have in a very tactical and specific way so that every student, as soon as possible in their time in EBR schools, is exposed to those career choices that our community has to offer. And if we're going to fulfill our potential, it is going to be through that interconnection between students from middle school and high school directly into opportunities here at BRCC and other higher education partners, that they're shown those opportunities, they're excited about those opportunities, and as soon as possible, they're given an opportunity to be an intern or apprentice, that they give very meaningful ways to learn what that pathway can look like for them to enter into a career. So we started working on a project that we call our Talent Action Collaborative. When the superintendent outlined those 5 career pathways, we said, well, we need to make sure that we populate commissions of those 5 industries, which are really complex industries, to make sure that they are meeting on a monthly basis with our educational infrastructure to guide them on the hard skills and, probably more importantly, the soft skills that are necessary for students in our high schools and our middle schools to think about what it takes to be ready to work. If they choose to go on to a 4-year school or a 2-year school after they get their diploma, fabulous. But if they want to go straight into a job after high school, let's make that possible too. We have seen that some of the best communities in our country at solving the equity gap, at closing economic inclusion outcomes, have done this by making sure that their whole economy has access through high school, through a career academy model like what we see here today, of helping every school think about how to access those choices. And they have seen that their crime rates have gone down and their earnings have gone up. And those communities are the highest performing in job growth over the last decade when you look at those. Those that have closed their economic inclusion outcome gaps are the fastest growing in America. And that's the expectation we have for our Talent Action Collaborative is HR and training managers who are hearing this announcement today, think about the way that they become a part of one of these 5 industry commissions, and think about the way that they help get a student connected to a pathway that gets them engaged with their company as a future potential worker. The probability is that they're going to come straight out of this school system or the school systems of our region to our community colleges and straight into our employment base. And the sooner we can make that connection happen, the better we're going to do as an economy. And that's what's so exciting about today is setting this high expectation. We've seen this in places like Jacksonville, Nashville, Denver, where the mayor took us on a canvas trip in Cincinnati back in 2018, over and over. We just went this great trip to Miami and saw this exact same model. So the expectation is upon us. Can Baton Rouge rise to the challenge? And we think we can. And that's what our organization is committing today, is we're going to be here as a partner, working with our companies to make sure that they access, through the Talent Action Collaborative, ways to make sure that their needs are being met, but their partnerships are being resolved to have this connection between business and education. Something we should have done 20 years ago, we're proud to be a part of today. Thank you.
All right, so we'll take any questions at this time. Yes. Yeah, I think the question has been around AP and dual enrollment. Our push is more access. AP is a high-level course, dual enrollments are a high-level course. And what we want to make sure there's more options. I think what's important for us is people see the bigger picture. Will those courses lead to industry-based certifications, which I think leads to jobs, and also what leads for advantages for parents. If a child is able to complete a number of college courses, parents will walk in as a junior into college and not have to pay their first 2 years of college. As you can see in our current pattern we talked about with BRCC, if a child gets an associate's degree and they go to an institution here and they can go in as a junior, then parents don't have to pay as much. I think the question for us is more access to more courses, not less. I think it's not a zero-sum game, but it's more, it's an and. And it's important for us to, as a community, that we begin to talk in that way to think about our work and not about limiting where we are. All of the cities that you've heard that Adam talked about has looked at their programming as more options for kids. We know that our community has been saying we don't have enough option for kids, and now's the time to do that. We're not in a time of waiting anymore. Right now is when we're going to do that access, regardless of the schools. Right now, students will walk into the 9th grade. There's a program course of study that they will have. In that program course of study, you will see students have access to be able to start to taking higher level college courses. We have a residency program we're talking about with internships for kids. We're matching that also with the business industry. With those 5 commissions that you heard that Adam talked about. Those commissions are the 5 industries where we need jobs right now. One of the things as I spoke with the chamber that I was really appreciative of is we have our economic workforce can fill those jobs, but we have to make sure that children are ready for those jobs now. And children should have the options when they graduate. If they don't want to go to college, then they can go right into that. Or if they want to get their degree and also have industry-based certification, which we think is the ideal approach, they can come back and work here in Baton Rouge. One of the things that's really important for people to know is most children out of our system stay here to live. And so therefore we know who our workforce is. And so preparing our workforce to take over the jobs for me and you is important to do that. Absolutely. What we tell folks, it's about more access and support. And let's look at our current pilot program. We did a purposely pilot at Glen Oaks High School. And if you know the population of Glen Oaks, we have kids that are in there right now. They already have received their college courses. We put support systems, whether it's through counseling, support system with other staff around them, and that's what we've been working with BRCC around to make sure that we can walk them through this process. I think this notion of we will not, what I tell folks is we will not remediate kids to success. You have to provide them with more and more support and more access. And I think that that is a mind shift for our community. What I always hear is what kids cannot do, but the reality is what kids can do and the potential that they have. And we need to keep pushing more and more and higher learning for them, and that's our approach. Absolutely, absolutely. And it's a combination of support. As you heard the mayor said, we move better as a community when we think about all hands on deck and working together, and also talking about what that model is as we move that approach. We are not the first school system in the nation that will be doing this work. We just are, as I would say, we just have not done it here yet. Yes, in the fall, roll out to all of the 9th graders. We'll start with the 9th grade cohort, and it will gradually go up. Glen Oaks will be a little more advanced in us because we wanted to pilot with them first, and then we will kind of roll up going that way. Absolutely, yes. It's a part of just, the regular course sequence that a child takes. Yes. Yeah, there will be a course sequencing that we're working. We've actually met with all of the high school principals, and then we'll work through with them what the course actually sequences. And then our goal is to see that as kids move up per year, that they get more access in courses. And more importantly, that they get options for industry-based certification. Because as you know, if you hear about the Talent Action Collaborative where Adam Knapp talked about, we have all the major CEOs that employ kids here, it's really important that we get kids to get certifications as well. Absolutely. There'll be a process where they have to make a choice on which pathway, but there'll also be some off-ramps. A child may decide to change their mind. I tell folks, like when you go to college, you have different, as you get more exposure and more experiences, and you can decide to change, your pathway that you like. But eventually you'll have to stick to a pathway if you're driving to a particular degree. Well, the goal is that the courses will be a part of their sequence, right? We designed the course sequencing. So in the course sequence, whether it's dual enrollment, AP, whatever, those classes, children will get access to those classes where they will have their options is whether they want that class to count as a college credit or not. Absolutely. What we have not told you, we've been working on this plan for the last 8 to 9 months in partnership with BRCC. We've sat with LSU as a part of that conversation, Southern University, and we have been thinking through every single step around how to make this happen for kids. So our ideal goal would be that children that are graduating at any of our high school would graduate with both 60 credits maximum with their associate's degree and an industry-based certification. And more importantly, would say is, as we've been talking through with our business partners, is if a child gets a residency program, for example, and they are, let's say they want to work at Baton Rouge General or Our Lady of Lake or any of those folks that sit with us, and they're in the, for example, the pre-med track, they, from their sophomore going to junior and senior year, they're already exposed to working in the hospital. Right? And that's a part of their learning as well. I mean, what we are doing right now is redesigning how schools should actually be. Our old way of schools is not as effective anymore. Now schools must be designed in a way to ensure that we are making sure that children get jobs. And we have plenty of jobs in our wonderful city for them to be in. Yeah, I don't want to misquote the technicality for there. What I will say to you is, say it again? That's correct. So remember that the 60 credits that children will have minimally, if they go through our track, will be to make sure that our goal is to make sure kids minimally are able to get as many credits for college as possible. so parents don't have to be able to pay their work. But it's 60 credits is what we are actually trying to ensure that they get. Well, I have the Glen Oaks principal here that I could tell you, but they've been tremendously excited. And not only they've been excited, but the question I think that's really been important that was the most hardest thing to hear when you ask a child was, wow, they think I can do this work? Wow, I can actually get the opportunity to do that? I think that was the most important thing to me. I mean, we have children that are not exceeding their expectations for a number of reasons, and that's because they just don't have the opportunity, right? And it's important for us to expect for them to have that opportunity to succeed. We cannot be a district where we are talking about who we think should have this access and who shouldn't have access. We should be opening up the floodgates and allowing kids to prove that they can do this work. All right, thank you so much for being here. And we do have a luncheon that we're excited that we'll be doing right after, right downstairs. And we also have a lot of our partners there. So we thank you again for coming today. Thank you.